The 201,718 college basketball season begins in earnest Tuesday night with the 2017 Champions Classic. The annual doubleheader featuring four of the sport's most prominent names has unofficially served as this season's first major event since its inception in 2011. There won't be anything unofficial about it a year from now, when the event will take place on the actual first night of the 201,819 season. Once again, the Champions Classic figures to give us a pair of highly entertaining games with four teams that figure to be right in the thick of the national title hunt come March. Here's everything you need to know about tonight's huge doubleheader. What teams are playing? Number 1 Duke takes on number 2 Michigan State at 7 p.m. ET, with number 4 Kansas taking on number 7 Kentucky 30 minutes after Game 1. What channel are the games on? ESPN and streaming on Watch ESPN. Where are this year's games being played? The United Center in Chicago. Which teams are favored? Duke is a slim 1.5-point favorite to take care of Michigan State, while Kansas is favored to beat Kentucky by 4.5. What are the major storylines? There are a bunch, but here are the 5 biggest. Number 1 versus number 2. For the second time in Champions Classic history, the event will have a game that features the number 1 team in the AP poll taking on the number 2 team. That game this year is technically the undercard, number 1 Duke versus number 2 Michigan State, which tips off at 7 p.m. ET. In 2013, number 2 Michigan State knocked off number 1 Kentucky by a final score of 7,874. That game was also played at the United Center. 4 Hall of Famers. Bill Self's induction into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in September means that all 4 coaches involved in Tuesday night's doubleheader are Hall of Famers. That's an occurrence only this event is likely to give you. 3 Marvin Bagley versus Miles Bridges. Though they likely won't be guarding one another for any extended stretch, the opportunity to see Duke's Marvin Bagley Jr. and Michigan State's Miles Bridges on the same court together is one of Tuesday night's largest draws. Bridges seems to be just about everyone's preseason National Player of the Year, while Bagley is currently near the top of the vast majority of 2018 NBA mock drafts. 4 Kentucky looks to remain event's most successful team. No single team has dominated the Champions Classic over its 6-year existence, but Kentucky owns the best record of any of the 4 teams at 42. They can maintain that title with a win over Kansas Tuesday night. Here are the all-time Champions Classic record heading into the 2017 installment. Kentucky 42, Duke 33, Michigan State 33, Kansas 24. 5 biggest night of the non-conference season. There's a reason why these 2 games sat at number 1 and number 2 on our list of the 50 best non-conference games of the 201,718 season. Even though all 4 of these teams figure to improve dramatically over the course of the next 4 months, whatever happens Tuesday night is still likely to have a major impact on what the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee does in March. A neutral court win over a fellow top 10 team could certainly wind up being the difference between a number 1 or a number 2 seed for one of these teams.